Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany. On this channel, we talk about deconstructing from toxic religion, and we also shine a light on problematic Christian influencers, especially if they are exploiting their children on social media. If you want to receive videos 12 to 24 hours early, you can become a patron or a YouTube member, and all of that is in the description box below. But if you do not want to give monthly, but you still want to give something, if you know the Lord is calling in your heart, you can just simply buy me a coffee. That is also in the description box below. So today we are actually talking about Paul and Morgan. Why did I just do that? Weird. Paul and Morgan, they uploaded a video and it's entitled Pray for Morgan, because we like clickbaity things. And we're getting ready to go to Florida like today. So I really wanted to pump out one more video. We're only going to stay for the weekend, which, by the way, it is so weird. I have to remind myself, it is so weird being on the same coast as Florida. Like, just a hop, skip, and a jump away, we can just drive to the beach. Like, that's weird. You know, like Missouri, going to Florida, it's a whole vacation. And when we're driving, which we usually would do, like me and my sister, I would always go on vacation with them, which I'm meeting my niece and nephew. Dude, it is this whole, I don't think I should share it, but it is this whole thing. But, you know, the sister that passed away a little over a year ago now, her children, who are like my children, they're in Florida right now on a little vacation, and James and I are driving down to see them, and I am ecstatic. And then 2 weeks after, we get to see our other babies. We get to see two of our kids and two of our grandbabies, and I'm just so excited. I miss my family so much. Okay. We don't want to start crying now, do we? No. So, we're going down to Florida here in a few hours, so I wanted to pump out one more video, so I could still be on the one a week streak. So, this is why I just woke up. We're getting ready to leave soon, and I haven't done anything. Okay. So, I saw on the Reddit page of the ex-fundamentalist, whatever, Fundy Snark, with Paul and Morgan's little category. I saw that Morgan had put on her stories of her being sick about something, and it is quite scary, because I watched what she's going through is quite serious. The biggest thing that, I mean, like, I noticed, and what other people started commenting, was in one of her videos, she was like, I went to the ER, like, I went to the hospital, I went to the ER, this was, like, the first time that she went, and she was like, I went, like, my mom took me, and Paul stayed with the kids. And when I first heard that, I was like, well, that's kind of strange. When you're married and you're, like, really hurting and you're sick, like, you want your person there with you. And then, luckily, you'll have family members be able to watch your kids, right? I was just thinking that. But then the comments were filled with it. They were like, Paul didn't go to the hospital with you? Why did you go with your... Like, this whole thing. So I was like, okay, so it wasn't just me. So today, they uploaded, like, the whole thing going on with Morgan, and it's interesting. We're just gonna see here. So, we know Lot Girl Defined, their page is dying, right? So, they have 159,000 subscribers, and they are not getting big views at all. They're really not. So the repentance videos that they did, the first one I need to repent to y'all, is 33,000, And then the next one, More to Repent For, is only 16,000. And then Our Life is Perfect and Flawless was just like a clap back to haters, only 9K. And then Some Christians Are Happy With This, also 9K. A Walmart video, 6K. So it's like, it's dying. So when I saw Morgan express, everything that was going on in the subreddit, well, it wasn't the subreddit, it was her Instagram, they put it on the subreddit, I was like, it's only, like, only time will tell until they put it on, like, until they monetize it, right? And she even put in her stories, too, like, oh, Paul decided to, like, he came up with the idea to want to do a video of it, so we just recorded it for our YouTube. And I'm like, of freaking course, Paul came up with the idea to exploit, in my opinion, and monetize what could be a life-threatening, like, thing that they're dealing with. So, of course, they uploaded a video, and that's one that we're gonna watch today. I also put the speed to 1.25. I did 1.5 at first. I just listened to it for a little bit, and it actually sounds like they're speaking normally, but it's too much of a visual for me. So 1.25. That's where we're going, because this video is 31 minutes long. All right, here we go.
Hey guys, well, our life looks a little bit different as of late. It's taken a little bit of a turn. Glad to have Morgan still with us. Morgan, why don't we just share with the YouTube audience? Good to see you guys, by the way. We're glad to be back.
It's always so weird when he says good to see you again. Like, I don't, like, of course it's good to be here because I'm speaking to you, but we're not interacting. We interact in the comments, but I can't see you. Why do you, it just a little nitpicky thing drives me nuts.
Like we gotta open up here on YouTube and talk about this. Like, this is interesting stuff. Real life, interesting stuff. Challenging, obviously, but
we have to talk about my wife almost potentially dying, and it's interesting stuff. So he just nailed it right there. He just kind of said the quiet part out loud.
Morgan, how are you feeling?
All right, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
I have been waking up at 5:30 in the morning to go to the gym, which I've been loving for the past month. And I woke up one Wednesday morning last 2 weeks ago, and I did my workout. It was a new workout that I had never done before, and felt great. Went home, lived my life. Later that afternoon, I got the boys up from their naps, and we headed down to a park that's close to us, and I felt this, like, pain in the back of my neck. It wasn't even my neck, it was like my skull. And I was like, oh, I guess I have, like, a little headache. I don't know, it's probably from allergies, whatever. Maybe I'll take a Tylenol later. I don't know. So, anywho, I go on carrying Luca, Jude all over the place. We're chasing Luca around the park. We play a little bit of pickleball. Later that evening, Paul and I are supposed to go out and play pickleball. And my neck, it wasn't my neck, I keep saying my neck, but my head, the base of my skull just kept hurting so bad. Like, I couldn't really turn, but it didn't feel like times when I've tweaked my neck down in here. So I was like, this is really weird.
We played a couple games, and Morgan was playing really bad, and we ended up calling it really supposed to be a date night.
Yeah.
We transitioned out of pickleball.
I was, like, in so much pain. I was like, we gotta stop. So we played 3 games. I shouldn't have even played all 3 of those games.
So fast forward,
I play a pickleball tournament on that Saturday. I felt great. I didn't, like, feel any pain, no headache of any kind. I win gold in that tournament. It's
incredible.
My second gold, baby.
Incredible. Unfortunately, that's going to be your last for a long, long time.
Don't say that, baby.
No. But for a while. Keep going.
That's so annoying. So here's, in my opinion, he's saying that kind of like out of a relief, I feel like, because I don't think he's won gold yet, and his wife has now 2 times. So now he's like, oh, thank God, like, now she can't win any more gold. It's gonna be the last one for a while. Oh no. Obviously it doesn't make her happy. Win
that tournament.
Kicks butt.
I have adrenaline just racing through me. I get home and my dad was building a swing set for Luca and Judah. So sweet. And he has to leave. He wasn't able to finish it. So I go out there and I finish it. I build a swing set. And so, anywho, wake up Sunday morning and I feel that headache, achy pain back there again. It wasn't like so horrible yet.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Apologize. I was mowing while you were building the swing set, right?
Yes, babe.
For the haters, I was mowing. Pretty sure, right? Right? Wasn't I?
I think you went play pickleball.
Surely not.
Yeah. You were like, I'll mow another night.
That was when I went out and, yeah. I went and, yeah, because I got a text from some of the old friends. Yeah. That's what happened, yeah. So I didn't mow.
Well, no, and he just left me.
He really tried to, like, that was so fake. I mowed, right? I mowed. She was like, actually, no, that was the time that you went to go play pickleball. So we, the haters, are right. They went home, and after her feeling bad, and her playing whatever, she was still feeling bad, she played, they came back home, and then, instead of, like, finishing what the father-in-law was doing, the daughter finishes it, while the son goes out, while Paul, the son-in-law, goes out to play pickleball. Never would that happen. If my husband and if I had 2 young children and I came to my home and my dad was building something and my dad said, hey, I can't finish, I gotta be somewhere, hey, no, not a big deal, I'll finish it, my husband would never let me, not in like a, you can't do it, but he would either, like, we could possibly do it together, but he would never leave to go play, to do an activity, and leave me alone doing it. Absolutely never.
That's right.
He made himself look so, like, even worse than the way that we see him. Like, I love that he just did that to himself. That was great.
It's fine. I love putting things together. It does not bother me at all. But it was a ginormous swing set. I moved the entire swing set by myself.
Which I would not have advised. I wish
it's
had
pretty
not.
light. Okay. It's like a toddler version of a swing set.
Okay, well, if you had been there, maybe you could put your 2 cents in there. But if you're going to be the husband that says, deuces, bye, I'm going to go play with my friends, you don't get to say in what your wife is doing. If you wanted to say in what your wife was doing at home, you could have stayed there.
Anywho.
Okay, I'm glad that we can laugh.
I gave him full permission to go, and I truly meant it. I was like, I'm going to have a nice, peaceful night out here, building this swing set, sipping on my sparkling water.
I blessed her, I think you could say, by allowing her to have that night to herself.
Such a blessing,
So
yes.
continue. So that was, you were feeling...
Let me get this right. He blessed her having a night alone, building something by herself, also watching 2 kids under 2. But he blessed her with a night by herself while he left. Got it.
Felt great. So woke up Sunday morning,
So you
had a
were
headache.
supposed to play in mixed doubles of the same tournament and kick butt again.
Yeah.
But
we were going to go to a late church service around 11:15, and around 10:45 I was sitting here on the couch with Luca. Judah was taking a nap, and I was like, something's not right. Like, this is not a normal pain. It's not a neck pain. I don't know what this is, but it's just like shooting up into my face. My vision was like blacking out, like black spots. And so Paul came out of the bathroom or something, and I said, I need to go lay down. So we did not go to church. I like passed out for like 2 hours, woke up.
Not literally passed out.
I don't know. I like fell asleep for like 2 hours, and which is
Thanks for clarifying, sir. No kidding.
very, very uncommon. I do not nap. And I was like, I woke up and was like, I'm not okay. Like, I have a horrific migraine. I don't know what's going on. This pain down here, like, I couldn't even, like, touch around this area, or else it would just, like, shoot. So we had actually our neighbor who's a physical therapist come over, and he kind of, like, examined me. And he was like, I'm assuming that from the workout that you did on Wednesday, because that's when you started feeling the pain, that's when it really, like, started happening, that the workout kind of made this pain happen. You probably just pulled some muscles up here. He's like, there's a lot of muscles that could, like, when they're inflamed, they hit nerves. And he was like, that's the most common thing to happen here. But he basically afterwards was like, but if, like, tomorrow you start experiencing other symptoms like throwing up or, you know, vision blur, your face goes numb, you don't know where you are.
You said your vision was already, like, if it had just, I feel like this. If it had just been pain, that's one thing. But she said her vision was going a little wonky. At that moment, that's when you go not see a PT, you go to the ER. Like, if you are, but whatever.
Whatever, like, go to the ER right away. So the next day, I wake up and I'm like, okay, I think I feel okay. And then 10 minutes later, it was like, no, you don't. It was horrible. I start vomiting. It's terrible. I was so nauseous all day Sunday. I didn't eat, like, at all on Sunday. And then Monday, didn't eat at all.
That would also be a symptom, though. That you... Why would you ask a physical therapist?
And late afternoon, I'm, like, laying on the floor after vomiting, and I just start, like, hysterically crying. Like, it's so weird how I remember this, but, like, I didn't know where I was. Like, I couldn't wrap my mind around the idea that I was in my bathroom. It was so weird. So I start crying. Paul had just been in the bathroom checking on me, asking me if I need anything. I said no. And, like, 10 seconds later, I'm, like, crying hysterically. And he comes in and, do you want to share?
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
I bet he just knelt down there and started praying for her and did not come up with the idea to go to the ER. I bet he just prayed for her.
it was just like, she was...
You just thought I was in pain.
It was hard to know because, yeah, like, and she had talked about having a migraine. I was, like, making some calls of, like, you know, what are symptoms of a bad migraine? If she tweaked her neck, now she's got a migraine. But she was saying, like, yeah, where am I? I'm crying. And so it just got to the point, took her to the ER.
Yeah, so went to the ER a little bit later. Not, like, immediately, but probably, like, an hour later. Because he kind of asked me, he was like, do you want to go to the hospital? I'm like, I don't like hospitals. So I was kind of like...
Oh, my gosh. Oh, she's making him look so bad. Not like she's making him look so bad, but she's kind of like telling us the truth. Like telling us what all of us already know. I am telling you right now. If I was, well, I mean, it kind of helps that my husband has like a medical history. But even so, if there was pain in my neck, and then even so I was vomiting, and then my vision was all wonky, and then I was throwing up, and then I'm like, where am I? I would not have a choice. I would not have a choice. We would already be at the hospital. I don't care if you like hospitals or freaking not. Do you want to go to the hospital? If you're going to ask somebody that, chances are, of course, nobody wants to go. But that's where the answers are. So you have to. He sucks. Like, as a, he's a damn beta. He is a beta male. Do you want to go? Do you want to go? No. You're vomiting. You don't know where you're at. Get your ass in the car. We're leaving. Oh, this is like confirming everything we already knew. Beta.
Like, no.
It's hard, and I mean, you guys let us know like where you're at with it. It's hard to know when something has like moved into we need to go to the ER or when it's just like,
nope, it's not that hard. Her vision was wonky. And she was feeling super nauseous. She's vomiting. She said she doesn't know where she's at. Pretty damn clear that she needs medical assistance. It's it is not that difficult, and he's trying to justify why he didn't force that, or he's trying to just like we don't really know. He's trying to justify him being a beta. That's what it is.
This is a really terrible migraine.
Yeah, and you're just gonna have to stick it out because this unfortunately happens.
My mom grew up, I grew up watching my mom have migraines, so I just kind of thought, well, I'm 30, maybe I'm going to start having migraines like my mom, and, this, whatever I did working out, pushed me into that. I don't know.
And then building half of the swing set.
Yeah, and playing pickleball, whatever. It's I tweaked a muscle, and I'm starting to have...
I bet, since he's kind of he's saying that, I bet in their non-filming conversations that he has said, well, you shouldn't have built the swing set. I would have done it. If you wouldn't have built the swing set, it probably triggered something in your neck. Kind of switching it to, oh, well, it is my fault, because if I would have just waited for my husband to do it, I wouldn't be in that much pain. I bet him saying that is just kind of and doing that. Yeah. And then he didn't even say and playing pickleball. He said, and doing that. Which is if you hadn't done that, then you wouldn't be in so much pain.
Migraines
and
now.
She got a really bad sunburn. So yeah. I'm talking to my brother, and he's I'm pretty sure it's, shout out to my brother, he's awesome, but he's I'm pretty sure it's sun poisoning. I had that, and I had some of these symptoms. So we're getting all this different advice.
Okay, so that's what happened. So Monday, an hour later, my mom arrived. She knew that I was in a lot of pain. She came over, and she was all right, it's time to go to the hospital. So we went. My mom took me.
Why is your, praise God for the mom. Why is, this is so frustrating. This looks so, I'm going to read the comments later, but I'm glad this video exists along with the we have to apologize or repent videos, because it is shining a light on Paul being a husband. Well, lack thereof, actually. So you're telling me, oh my God, you're telling me you're in a lot of pain, which if you're just having pain, sure, that could be difficult to measure when you need to go to the hospital. Okay, I'll give you that one. You're in a lot of pain. You can't even touch your neck because it's shooting up your head. You've been nauseous the day prior, but now you're nauseous and throwing up. Your vision is getting wonky. I said you're throwing up, and you're confused of where you are. What other symptom do you need to go to the hospital? Completely passing out. Well, even if she would have passed out, I'm sure he'd be okay, well, you're probably just tired. Go sleep now. Oh my God. And her mom that birthed her had to come into their home, into their marital home, where the husband is supposed to take care of the wife now, not the parents. I mean, the parents will always, but biblical sense, right? The parents are no longer supposed to take care of the kid because, take care of the daughter because the husband is supposed to. But it takes until the mom comes to the house to say, oh, no, we need to go to the hospital. Truly, what kind of man are you? What kind of man are you?
I'll stay back with the boys. And we get there, and it's a 3+ hour long wait, and I'm in so much pain. I'm in the bathroom on my knees at the ER, trying to throw up again, and I don't have anything in me to throw up, and I was just I can't stay here like this for 3 hours. And my mom knew that, so she went and got the car after about an hour or so of waiting. Maybe we waited less, I don't know. It felt like
that is so dumb, dude. That is so dumb. I would have guessed if those nurses actually saw her going through those symptoms and they're hey, she's actually really sick, something is really wrong. It wouldn't have been 3 hours. It wouldn't have been 3 hours. What are y'all actually doing? So you finally go to the ER, and just because you feel the wait is going to be too long, they can bypass people. If there's somebody if there's somebody who's just, hacking and coughing, and then they see you and you're just like, my vision is, if they knew her vision was blurry, she was confused, she's throwing up pain, they would have bypassed you. But I feel like nobody, communication.
Million years for me, but we come home and my mom ordered like a mobile IV nurse to come, and she gave me fluids and she gave me some like anti-inflammation that was supposed to help with headaches, and I just passed out. I went to sleep, like it was like 6 or 7 o'clock, and I just like was out for the rest of the night.
Again, not actually passed out.
Yeah, sleep.
So because this is medical of nature, we should probably make sure we're specific.
Yeah, so Tuesday morning I wake up and we're all kind of like, Paul's like, how you feeling? And I'm like, I don't know. And this happened like every morning. I would wake up and feel like kind of okay, and then immediately, like 10 minutes after waking up, it hit me again, and I just was sitting on the couch like just kind of delirious and so much pain. And we were like, all right, let's try the ER again. We were actually going to go to urgent care, so that's what we did. And they were like, we don't have any like scans here, and you're gonna need a CT for sure if it's with your head and neck. And so they're like, you're gonna have to go back to the hospital. So Paul called and they're like, there's no wait right now. So we got there, they got us right in. We go in to triage, and the doctor there.
You mind if I share this part?
Yeah.
This is, to me, it's just so interesting and fascinating. So we go in, he's sitting down with Morgan, and the doctor's doing different, he's saying, touch here, push on me here. And he ends up saying, all right, based off of the symptoms you've described,
your age, your health,
activity, because you worked out and then did pickleball and built the swing set, he said, I'm very confident that you have a bad neck tweak and it's causing these other symptoms. And in my mind, I'm like, that's what I thought too, doctor. She has a bad neck tweak.
That's what I thought too. I actually have my degree in whatever. Your degree is in beta. I'm gonna enter the video of what's his name? I forgot his name. Jesse something saying that beta. Oh, okay, it's a. I say it all the time.
But he's a nationalist.
You have
I don't
issues,
believe
Steve.
that just...
Richard, you have issues.
All right, can I just get to this question?
Beta!
All right, so this is what I'd
I'm
like
going to have
to
to
ask.
give you the beta song.
Sunburn, migraine, and here's her symptoms. He was like, I'm, what did he say, 99% sure?
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm 99% sure, bad neck tweak. There is this other thing that it could be.
Paul, the whole reason why he's saying this part right now is he just wants to be right. Like, telling Doc, yeah, I thought so too. That's what I told her. She's just being a baby. But then I hope Paul feels really bad for what the diagnosis actually was.
That's more significant.
Like, it would be so rare. So I'm not even like gonna go into that.
He's like, but let's just run some tests to be sure.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I'm like, praise the Lord. That's what we wanted to hear. So I head out because I was in 30-minute parking. So I drive to Timbuktu to the parking garage.
And they get me back for a CT scan. And I'm like just kind of laying in a bed afterwards, waiting for Paul to come back. And the like doctor comes out, and he had like looked at my CT scan, and I gotta tell you, he had like the saddest puppy dog eyes. He came and like sat right beside me on the bed, and he was like,
You haven't even told me this because I'm like waiting to get the phone call from you because I'm out.
Yeah. So he was like, is your partner here with you? Were you here with someone? And I was like, yeah, he's just parking. Like, it's taking him a while to find a spot and whatever. And he's like, okay, yeah, definitely tell him to come back. And he was like, so got your CT results, and you have a vertebral artery dissection. And I was just like, huh? They're giving me some pain meds at this point. And I was like, what?
They're giving you like pretty stinking strong pain meds.
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. They're just giving me something for a migraine. It was like Benadryl and something else, but apparently it's like a migraine cocktail to help relieve your pains. But so he's like, yeah, it's very serious. He was like, we're gonna have the neurology team and the neurosurgeons come down and talk to you, and we'll kind of like go from there. They'll be the ones to decide your treatment. But, you know, I was like, what does the treatment look like? Like surgery or what? Because I heard like dissected artery. I'm like, am I just like squirting blood everywhere up in my brain right now? Like, what is happening? And he was like, sometimes surgery is required. They go in and put like a stent in, but a lot of times it's treated with medicine. He's like, I am going to let them talk to you about that because that's not my specialty. He's like, I just am kind of coming here to let you know, like, this is more serious than a tweaked muscle.
So she calls me,
Yeah.
and I'm out, and she just shares that with me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in my mind immediately, I'm like, have the doctor's words, the initial doctor, playing in my mind of 99% sure there's this rare thing, but I'm almost positive it's not that.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be that thing. And it just like hit me upside the head.
Yeah.
Like my wife has, and you told me what it was, you know, and so I'm like ChatGPTing it, vertebral artery dissection. And it was just one of those moments where just life stands still. Because you have, you know, in our day-to-day life, we have so many things going on, so many things that we're thinking about, anxieties that we're trying to trust the Lord with, good things, bad things, life's just going well, health is good, and then it's just like, my wife.
And here's the thing that I was also thinking about, which, you know, at the end of the day, it's none of our business. Do they have health insurance? Like, if neither one of them have a job, which I don't want to say like a real job, but, you know, a job that provides health insurance, dental, any medical, whatever, they don't have that. So, like, how? How?
The vertebral artery dissection.
Yeah.
The thing that the doctor just said almost never happens.
Yeah.
And almost is incredibly rare for someone like you.
Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy.
So I get back, come over to Morgan. She's like on her bed in the hallway.
Yeah, I was freaking in a hallway bed. I don't know if y'all's ERs have that, but our ER at UK, which is University of Kentucky, no, I was not in the UK, United Kingdom. People were messaging me like, why are you in the UK? University of Kentucky has these hallway beds, which are horrific. No one should ever have to come to the hospital and stay in a hallway bed. One of the nurses told me that her younger sister had to go in one of these hallway beds at the hospital for 4 days. I was there for like 36 to 40-ish hours. It was horrific.
Well, so yeah, that was...
I've never heard of that before. That's kind of disgusting. So there's no privacy? You're just like in a bed in the hallway? I've never heard of that. That's awful.
Anywho, I mean, like, I'm like having vision problems and these bright lights shining down me. I watched an old man like die. I watched an old lady come in with like a gash down her head, blood just going down her face, all up in her hair, on her outfit. It was just awful.
So anyway, we're sitting there again, calling our family, processing it, looking stuff up, and
I'm out of it.
Morgan gets put on heavier meds.
I was in so much pain.
And so then this young doctor, couldn't have been more than 35, comes up, and you know, it's just this heavy, like, what is our life about to look like?
Yeah.
And she comes up and ultimately says,
she was a neurologist.
Since we're given the details, like, we're just, you know, we could just be, we're just going to keep like sharing the story. This is how it all went down, and we're still in the middle of it. Like, I'm grateful that Morgan wants to make this video. We're still in the middle of it. I mean, we'll get to that here in a second, but like, she comes over and says, she was like Indian, and I'm not going to
say that.
Well, sometimes I like to try to do accents. I'm not going to. It's not the time or place. But she said, ultimately, you know, you're not going to want to pick up your kids anymore. And so, of course, my initial reaction, because that's one of the things, is like, she can't be lifting more than 10 pounds for 6 weeks. So I'm like, okay, you know, after 6 weeks, she can get back into, and she just comes up and pretty much point blank says, you're not going to want to lift up your kids anymore.
Or do like heavy weights or any like strenuous workout type stuff.
And so, and my immediate reaction is, okay, like, how long before she can pick up her, you know, like her baby,
10-month-old baby? And
she goes, and she kind of like reprimanded me and said, that is not a question you should be asking. It could be, because even when this heals, it could re-tear because you've had it once. So you shouldn't even be asking that. It's smartest
She was like, never.
She was
You
pretty
should
much
not
like,
ever be lifting up your children or heavy things again if you don't want this to happen again.
And I was just like, what just happened?
And we were both, like, Paul's over here thinking, like, my wife is about to be scarred for life, being told that she could never pick up her children again. And I'm over here like, huh? Like, immediately I was like, first of all, like, who the heck do you think you are telling me I'm never gonna lift my kids again, bro? Like, go away. I'm not listening to anything you have to say
also,
anymore.
I mean, I gotta say, I'm with Morgan on that one. Like, I think the doctor, like, reprimanding, which I think it could also be, you know, culturally a little different, because we also as Americans, what I've noticed, we want to be like coddled and cushioned and like loved on at the hospital. We want that personal touch, I guess. But in other cultures, they don't do that. They're like, this is what's going on, this is what you need to do. But I don't think it's a bad thing to ask, like, how long would it be until she could hold, like, the babies? Like, you won't want to do that ever. Like, ma'am, yes, I will. Like, what are you talking about? I wonder if she's even a mother, because I don't think a mom would have that reaction, or like be able to say that. But no, I'm with Morgan on this one. Like, life or death, like, I'm gonna hold my babies. Like, don't care, I'm gonna do it. So whenever I'm healed and I feel great. But then, like, I hate it, dude. I hate it when doctors have such a black and white answer. I have been told so many times that you will not be able to / you won't want to lift heavy ever again. And I'm like, that's dumb. As a doctor prescribing you to not lift, that's stupid. That is so stupid. It's just dumb, which that's a whole other conversation in itself. Like, you should be able to lift. I'm not saying, you know, freaking strongman competition wise. I'm saying, like, that is good for you, not just for your muscles, but for your bone density, for your ligaments, your your heart health, every other thing. Like, it's good for it makes me so upset when doctors are like, nope, this injury right here, you will never be able to lift again. I'm like, watch me. And that's exactly what I did. So I can understand how incredibly frustrating it would be for especially a woman to come up to you and be like, yeah, you're never gonna want to hold your babies again. Like, bitch, yes, I will. I'm with Morgan on this one.
ChatGPT and just looking stuff up on Google, it was like saying, you know, like, ease back into it after this certain amount of time. So that was like just another.
And like, before anyone's like, well, that doctor was probably like thinking Paul was like, well, she's got to carry our babies around and take care of them. Like, no, Paul was being very gentle and was like, what are you, like, what's the time frame here? Like, he was asking questions for me because I freaking couldn't talk because they had just given me, like, fentanyl. So, yeah, it was not like a weird husband who wants...
Right, I know that she wants to hold her baby.
Yeah, my 10-month-old baby. Oh, my goodness.
And then just be able to function like a normal person.
Yeah.
Lifting normal stuff after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So that was a very, like, sobering moment. But then, you know, again, let's just, I guess, fast forward. Stays in the hospital, stays overnight, is in the hallway bed the whole time. We're not here to, like, bash the healthcare stuff.
I am. Freaking fix it, University of Kentucky. Fix it.
Oh, good.
It's a huge hospital. I just don't. And nobody comment being like, well, there are protocols. I know. We were told. Fix it.
Most of the doctors and nurses were very nice to work with. And some of them even were like, yeah, this is just really unfortunate.
They're like, this is awful. We hate it. Complain about it. Because if enough people complain about it, it will hopefully change. That's literally what they told my mom. They gave her a card and said, contact customer service and complain about it.
That was really the only doctor that I was just like left a really bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, the next day we told some of the other doctors about that doctor and they were just like appalled. They were like, what? They're like, do you remember her name? What department was she in? We are so sorry. Like, no, you will be able to pick your children up again. Like, don't panic. I'm so sorry you had to live with that thought.
It makes me wonder if that doctor actually was thinking, because that's kind of what my first thought was. Like, I wonder if that doctor had that, had that, mentality, I guess, towards Paul, because he was saying, like, when can she lift her baby? Which, like, I'll have to say, obviously, I don't think he was asking because, like, well, she needs to take care of our kids. I don't think that at all. I think he was genuinely asking, like, my wife can't touch our kid. Like, that's not gonna fly. Like, when can she pick her children up, you know? But I don't know, maybe she knows who y'all are and I've seen your videos before, maybe. I don't know. But to have it, to say it like that, like, you should not be asking that, I think that's highly inappropriate.
For 24 hours, like, no.
Well,
so that was good.
So then, as just further, the hours went on, they came and said, all right, so Morgan, like,
They did an MRI.
It did an MRI, CAT scan, and they said it's very rare for someone of your health, your age, to just suddenly have it without there being something like kind of crazy,
like a car wreck.
Crazy that happened. It's very rare that you'd have this artery dissection.
Yeah.
And one of the doctors said, I feel like this could be a hereditary syndrome called
VEDS, vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome,
which causes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it makes your body, and I mean, we could Google it right now.
Veins, your vascular system is weaker. You're more likely to have things like this happen for no apparent reason. A lot of people go undiagnosed and live their whole lives without ever knowing that they had it. But if it does happen and you can catch it early on, you can treat it and be a lot safer throughout, like, your older age, is what I guess this neurosurgeon was saying. He was like, I feel very confident that that's what this is. He's like, I want to rule it out. We want to rule it out, obviously, because it could have just been a fluke accident. And if that's the case, then that's the case. But if it's not, then us catching this right now is really great, because it could prevent you from having, like, organs just rupture for no reason down the road.
One of the biggest concerns, and still is, but especially early on, was that she would have a stroke, or maybe she had already had a stroke, because of where there's this dissection. The blood clots, where blood's flowing and it clots and can cause a stroke.
So basically, for the next 6 weeks, I have to have a live-in nanny because I can't, get Judah out of the crib. I can't put him in his high chair. Can't leave the house because I can't put Luca or Judah in the car seats. Luca luckily can climb up on me and sit in my lap if he wants, or I can get on the ground for Judah to climb up on me. But yeah, I mean, if Paul is working, then I have to have help. I
wonder if they're going to go more into this, but when Paul is working, where? Y'all are both content creators, you work from home, meaning the live-in nanny should be your husband, right? If he is going to a building to work, absolutely, like, I understand that, but y'all, as far as we know, he doesn't, and he literally just leaves his house because they have vlogged about it. He leaves the house to play pickleball, to eat lunch while doing content creation for another business, to do a devotional with his Patreon members. That's why he was leaving the house. So that live-in nanny that you're talking about should be your husband. And I swear to the Lord, that sounds bad, but oh my God, dude, I freaking swear, if this man is out there playing pickleball and not being that Christian husband, that just Bible believing strong husband for his wife right now, if he's still out there playing pickleball, I'm gonna, I don't know, man. I'll do I'll do something, but I think that will be just another a confirmation, validation of the things that we already know. But the things we already know, it still sucks to like hear. You know what I mean? Like, this man should be doing all of his work at home. He doesn't need to leave the house for, you know, to do the devotionals or to do any of that. Like, she didn't have to do, like, she didn't do that for devotional. The only time that she left the house was to go grocery shopping and work out for like 30 minutes. Ma'am, the live-in nanny you're talking about is your husband.
Keep living our lives, you know. Paul's got to make money. We still got to keep doing things, keep grinding. So family has really stepped up. It's been an insane blessing. Insane.
Oh, and just one more thing with the medical side. I still am hoping that this was a freak accident.
Yeah.
And
So in July,
her body will heal, and that'll be that. I know the doctor said he felt fairly confident that she has this syndrome, which, if that's the case, you know, that's going to be something more significant that we'll have to be monitoring and treating for the rest of her life. But again, I guess, that's something that I'm really just like, Lord, have your way, but please let her not have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were saying that, and we'll know.
Yeah, in July I have an appointment with rheumatology to do the testing for all that. And then I have appointments with neurology, and I have to get another CT scan in a couple weeks to make sure that this artery is healing correctly. I'm on some drugs right now to help with the pain and to help with the healing process. But all in all, you know,
You mentioned that the family has been.
yeah, the Lord has just really, really provided. It's like we didn't even have to think about like what the next 6 weeks were gonna look like. Like, everyone just kind of stepped up and was like, well,
In my opinion, as they should. That's what if you are living close to your family, and I am so very sorry if your family's not like that. Like, that really hurts my heart. But if you are close to your family, if you are living close proximity, like, you shouldn't have to. Like, they should be there. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely.
I'll be here for a week. I'll come each day this day, and I'll text this person to make sure they can come cover that day. And like, it's just been crazy thus far, like crazy good and a blessing and really sweet, and just seeing community around us come together to pour into us and provide meals. And yeah, I mean, literally we've been filming for 29 minutes. This is like the longest I've held my head up. My head feels very heavy right now.
We need to wrap it up.
Yeah,
It is funny, like, how such a blessing a meal is, or like
it's crazy
in times like this.
how much of a blessing that's been. I'm just gonna scoot on down a little, just rest my head like this. My head feels very heavy. That's been the biggest thing. Well, I mean, the pain has been the biggest thing, but I just have, like, I can function throughout the day back from the hospital and stuff, and like I haven't needed like the really heavy pain meds, but I can go about like 15 minutes before I'm like, I gotta like lay down and rest my head. It's so heavy. So yeah. But, you know, people were asking me on Instagram, like, do you have peace? Like, are you okay? Like, this has to be so overwhelming. And I don't know, it's gotta be the Lord, because I really haven't felt overwhelmed. And I'm sure like I'll have moments, and I have had one moment where I shared on Instagram, just kind of, I was crying, and just the sadness of like not being able to carry my babies around. But like, I have just this peace from the Lord that surpasses all understanding. I'm not really too concerned right now about like what my diagnosis might or might not be. Just kind of take it as it comes and figure it out. I think what I'm most like sad about is just like this routine that I just got into. I spent a whole month of like waking up early and baking fresh bread, and I was all just meant to. So slowly but surely I'll get back into that stuff.
You will. You will. And it's, you know, it's times like these when you have to decide, do I believe what Jesus said? Do I believe what the Bible says? And it's cool, you know, the testing of your faith. develops perseverance. You going through this, you will have greater perseverance than you did before. And I think,
man, I hope he is not throwing scripture in her face all the like those when you are sick, and quoting scripture can be very comforting, right? Absolutely. But what I'm referring to is this. Like, instead of being there just for her and with her and just helping, or like, you know, being a dad, he is saying things like, well, you know, you can persevere, you can, you know, your faith is going to be stronger because of this. Like, just quote scriptures to yourself and only quote the ones that are encouraging and inspiring, and just be there. You don't have to try to solve the problem, just be there.
I was reading in the Word maybe before you went to the ER, right before, or I was just quoting like the passage in Romans, and we know that in all things he works for the good of those who love him.
Yeah.
And then like suddenly you're in this situation, and it's like, but in the midst of this crappiness and pain that you're going through, excruciating pain, and now the unknown of the diagnosis and stuff, we can believe that God's still working good things for you and for our family.
Yeah.
We can choose to believe it, or we can doubt him and emotionally crumble.
Yeah. And he has worked.
Please don't say, and like, you either do this or emotionally crumble. Like, allow her to emotionally crumble a little bit. Like, this is her life you're talking about. Like, allow her to emotionally crumble. You can emotionally crumble and cry about something, but still have faith in the Lord. Like, you don't have to show face the whole entire time. Like, oh my God.
Things through this, so I'm thankful. It's been good.
Glad that we were able to give you guys an update and just continue to live life with you all. I feel like we've given just lots of different pieces of life over the last few months.
Yeah.
And here's just the most recent piece.
Yep.
Love you guys. Thank you for being our online family.
Yes.
You guys are a blessing. Pray for more.
Can you please not tell social media people that we're a part of the that we're a part of the family? Number one, it's weird, and that's how creepy people like try to find you. Okay, whatever. All right, that video is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up because we're going to Florida. The Florida. I'm excited. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comments below, and I do appreciate y'all so very, very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.